This is case C 2024-6055. The plaintiff is Shannon Walker and the defendant is Lane Myers. Ms. Walker, this is a time and place set to hear an injunction against harassment. Ms. Walker, could you please stand and raise your right hand? My clerk's going to swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. So, thank you. First off, can you state your first and last name for the record and spell them, please?
Shannon Walker, SHANNON WALKER.
Okay. So, Ms. Walker, I'm going to be asking you some questions about the allegations that you've made in your petition here.
Okay.
I'm also going to ask you some questions about guns. Now, I don't want you to think that I have some super secret information back here. I have no information at all regarding the defendant or anything. These are statutorily required. And so if I ask you a question, don't think I know something because I don't.
Understood.
I've only got what you've given me here in front of us. So, and I've read through the allegations here and I'm a little confused. What is going on?
So I work at the College of Law. My spouse, who is with me, Matt Walker, is a prosecutor for the city of Tucson. Mr. Myers is a defendant in a case that my spouse is prosecuting. For some reason, Mr. Myers has chosen to start harassing me because he discovered that we are married. It's primarily been through YouTube videos that he makes about me where he shares my contact information and encourages his 8,000 plus YouTube channel followers to contact me and also harass me. He also has contacted me directly through phone calls. He calls me, I do not answer, but leaves voicemails that are threatening. And I think that's kind of the basic overview of how we came into contact.
Okay, and this has been going on, looks like for about the last month.
Correct.
That's what's happening here because I'm seeing that things started in September of this year.
Correct.
And
I think September 12th was the
it's
first.
the first date you have down here and posting video on his YouTube. And so, okay, and then he is leaving you actual personal voicemails on your cell phone. Is this also taking place at work or?
It's not my cell phone. It is my work line,
It's your work line.
Which is
Okay.
listed on the College of Law's website. And in the voicemails, he has said he was going to come see me, made comments about how I need to speak to my spouse about his case, things that are generally just offensive and, not something that I feel like I should be subjected to.
And based on these, a little threatening.
Yes. Not only from him, but now his followers are threatening me, contacting me, leaving voicemails. Yesterday, I received one that was particularly egregious. I think I included the text of at least the transcript that my work voicemail system provided. He also yesterday in his video, he is convinced that I'm a public official, which I work for a public institution, but I do not work with the public. My work is with the dean of the law school. I work with specific, college initiatives and professional relationships, but I'm not a public official. And so in his videos, he often claims that I am a public official, that anyone can come talk to me and I have to see them, I have to speak to them. So not only has he claimed that, he has told his followers that, and yesterday he actually said, I'm going to the College of Law. It was something that was very upsetting, not only for myself, but now my colleagues are in fear that this person is going to come over because we've had to connect University of Arizona Police Department and our threat management team who has been following this gentleman. So it's now not only affecting me, but my people I work with. And, obviously we have our personal relationship. I don't have anything to do with this. So I don't know why this is even happening.
Well, I'm very sorry. that is going on.
Not your fault, but I
So-
appreciate that.
Yes, it's difficult. So I am going to go ahead and grant the injunction against harassment. I do need to get some statements from you over under oath. Now, obviously, to grant an injunction of harassment, there needs to be a series of events, and you have definitely listed on your order of protection a series of events, so you do qualify in that. I do need to ask you, though, are the statements in this petition, are they true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And you've explained that you really don't know the defendant. You've never met him personally?
No, one of his claims, I only know what he has said to me. We have never even spoken. I've never met him in person. I've never had a direct conversation with him. I only know the messages that I receive or the videos. One of his claims is that I think he has assumed, because my work often is with members of the judiciary, apparently he had a significant other who was a federal law clerk and lost her position as a result of, I don't know if it's his videos, but it seems like that was some sort of factor. And he is convinced that I personally am responsible for that. That he often claims I called Judge Zips at district court to have his significant other fired, which did not happen.
Oh, if we had that kind of power.
I
right?
know.
I know. So,
a lot of things
okay.
would be a lot easier.
All right. So, do I take it you and the defendant don't have any other cases with
No,
each other?
no,
Or there's no
no.
other anything else. Would you have any knowledge, or has he in any way threatened or mentioned the use of a gun?
I do not have any knowledge.
All right.
Well, he talks about being a hunter in some of his videos, so I guess that would be my only kind of glimpse into that.
But there's been no direct
No.
implication or statement or anything that would cause you to think that that's something that's prominent.
Correct.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
All right. Now, let me take a look here further. Remember, we are in open court. And so if any of the addresses that you've listed here are confidential, don't say anything while we're here on the record. We'll refer to them vaguely,
Right.
but we don't want to restate these addresses or anything like that if we're going to protect an address.
Of course.
So just want to make sure that we're both aware of that as we're moving forward here. And so you have listed two other persons, two minor children as protected persons on this order of protection. May I assume these are your children?
They are.
Okay. And what reason do you believe that they need to be placed on here?
So one of, again, through his videos, one of the things that Mr. Myers has done in the past is he has impersonated others. And so my concern, because it does not seem like there's any sort of line here, as if he were to discover, obviously, I'm sure he will from this, but that we have children, I'm concerned he will call their school. I'm concerned that I'm just not sure what he would do.
Okay.
And so I think out of just an abundance of caution with everything else that's been going on, because this person does not seem to have any boundaries, I'm concerned for their safety.
I'm going to concur with that. I'm going to go ahead and place the children on the order of protection, mainly based on the statements that you have placed up in your allegations. Those
Okay.
do imply that he is a little more willing than most to kind of break some boundaries.
Correct. And he
So-
also has stated that there was one message where he stated he was going to come to our neighborhood and speak to our neighbors, obviously a place where our children reside.
Okay. Now, do you feel any particular need to list the children's school?
I prefer to not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You have listed 3 addresses. We have a non-confidential mailing address that obviously we'll set forward. You've listed a residence. I'm not going to say that. You have marked that as a confidential address, and it will remain confidential. You've also listed your employment, and obviously he knows where that is. So
Correct.
we don't need to make that a confidential
Right.
address. Are there any pets or animals that we need to be concerned about? I didn't see any allegations or threats along that. I'm not inclined to put anything on here for that. Is there any reason to?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Let me see here. So the court finds, based on the allegations made in the petition and the testimony here in court, that I do have jurisdiction over the parties in the subject matter, and that you've appeared at the hearing, and of course the defendant is not, because he did not have notice of this hearing. I do find that there's reasonable cause to believe that the defendant has committed a series of acts that are a series of harassment. They have not reached the level of stalking yet, but they're definitely a series of harassing events, and also their use of electronic communication to intimidate and to threaten. So I will be making those findings. Now, with those findings, I do want you to understand, and I'm sure you do, these are not criminal findings. I'm not making that he's not being charged with anything. These aren't criminal charges. These are findings I'm making to provide you with a civil injunction. And so it is, again, only a piece of paper, though.
Of course.
So you're aware that these can sometimes incite as much as they can bring people down, but it will protect you from any third-party contact as well as indirect contact from him. You also understand the concerns about trying to get anybody to not post things on the internet or YouTube or stuff. We do have some overlays with the First Amendment there that we're not sure how far. I'm not sure how far this is going to get you, but
Right.
or as far as protecting or stopping that, but it should be strong enough to get those third parties who are his followers or whatever they may be called. Ideally, they will understand that they're included in some way on this. I'm probably going to have to be told, but
Yes.
get the general idea. So based on the pleadings, the court finds reasonable cause to believe the defendant has harassed it by committing one or more acts of harassment, and therefore it's ordered granting the injunction against harassment, and orders that the defendant will have no contact with the plaintiff, with the protected persons listed in the injunction against harassment, or with the protected locations. The court further orders regarding this order of protection. A constable will not serve this for you. So it will go into effect when he is served, but you are going to need to personally have that served on him, either hire a process server, take it through the sheriff, whichever you fit. Obviously, you're not going to hand it to him yourself.
Right.
But, you know, it's important, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know. If he violates this, you must call the police. It is only as good as you are in enforcing it. And if you want this to truly protect you, be sure to take advantage. The court's not an enforcement mechanism. It's the police that will enforce this, but do not hesitate to call them if he violates this in any way. Okay?
One question that I do
Please
have
do.
Is regarding the videos that currently exist, as well as additional videos, which I do think you are correct, this will likely incite more of a reaction. Does this injunction against harassment provide any sort of protection for additional videos or any sort of enforcement for him to take down the current ones?
That would be up to a prosecutor. I'm
Okay.
really not sure how they would interpret that. I think the ones that are already posted, I think you're going to have a hard time getting those down, just because of the nature of the internet. I think, though, that if that is something that you should probably pursue with the prosecutor's office or through a police report if you want to try to do something with that. That would be my advice.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure how far this is going to get you from stopping those, but if you don't call the police and try, it's not going to get you anywhere.
Right. Okay. And I guess that's my primary concern is not just him, but the harassment that he is inciting through those. So,
And, you know, I think those could possibly be seen as third party contact, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's going to depend on how the prosecutor's office wants to interpret that.
understood. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any more questions for me today? Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Sorry, I just want to ask a question. Can you just ask specifically about future videos if that's inconvenient?
Your Honor, does this order, injunction against harassment does it encompass any future videos?
It should, but again, it's going to be up to the interpretation of I mean, you know, especially if a video is like directed directly at you, I think it becomes a little questionable. If it's a general, generic, you know, that's really going to come down to interpretation.
Okay.
Does that help at all? I wish I could offer more than that.
No, we very much appreciate, Your Honor. Thank you. I think that's all.
We'll go ahead and we'll get this in place. You will go back to room 203. They'll get you all the information. It should be through to you shortly, okay?
Thank you very much.
I wish you the best, both of you.